We want another organization of equals. And that is why we are saying we need a new financial architecture where governance, where power is not on the hands of a few people.
As whether Kenya will ultimately join the Brics bloc of emerging markets or not now that Ethiopia has made its application for membership is perhaps a question whose answer requires more than a mere yes or no but rather when and why. Under William Ruto, who assumed office of president in September 2022, Kenya, which is the East African community's biggest economy, has been singing a tune that's quite a sweet melody to the Brics bloc's two biggest giants, that is Russia and China. Just like the Russian President Vladimir Putin, his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping and even Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, the Kenyan head of state has been criticizing the dollar hegemony and current world order, especially the international monetary system that's led by the IMF and World Bank. On numerous occasions, President William Ruto has been calling on a re-look or rather overhaul of the current international financial space that he says is skewed against the global south, where countries in that part of the world have been accessing financing from multilateral lenders at terms that are quite unfair when compared to their counterparts in the global north.
We are now pushing for a re-engineering of the international financial system. The current system, built around World Bank, IMF, and all the other multilateral lenders, as is today, is rigged against the global south.
At the same time, William Ruto, just like the Chinese top leadership and Russian leadership, has been championing for all kinds of mechanisms that eliminate high dependency of the dollar in international trade settlements.
Traders from Djibouti selling to Kenya, or traders from Kenya selling to Djibouti, have to look for US dollars. How is US dollars part of the trade between Djibouti and Kenya? Why?
Then, since de-dollarization, or rather creation of a new BRICS currency that will ease trade amongst BRICS members, is one of the key objectives of the bloc right now, we believe that there are high possibilities that Kenya will be invited to join the bloc or will make an application for the same in the coming future, since its international trade policies and aspirations resonate with those of BRICS. This might become a reality sooner or later because, as it stands right now, a number of countries around the world are already eyeing to become members of the BRICS bloc, among them being Mexico, Nigeria, Egypt, Venezuela, Argentina, Indonesia, Iran, Ethiopia, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and over 10 others. However, as it stands right now, Kenya has stronger ties with the United States than it was in the previous regime, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why it has not shown any signs that it's interested in joining the BRICS bloc. Unlike Ethiopia, which has been actively pushing for its BRICS membership, with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed even attending a number of the bloc's summits in a bid to seek recognition and ultimately acceptance, Kenya's head of state has largely been pushing for a fair and just world regardless of the dominant bloc.
We're not asking for a system that favors us. We are demanding a system that is fair and gives everybody a chance, and that is not too much to ask.
We believe he is more interested in having a world where some countries are not discriminated or unfairly treated, especially in terms of access to resources, so that the international financial system is fair to everybody. That he's not really interested in ditching one oppressive or skewed system for another one that's just like the previous one. Therefore, should the BRICS bloc guarantee a world where there is such kind of fairness, there's probably no reason why Kenya will not join the bloc, since it already has a president that can easily implement the bloc's agenda in his policies. However, we believe that should William Ruto find the BRICS as another bloc of a skewed system that favors some countries over others, or enriches others while disadvantaging others, then he will possibly won't make any effort for his country to become a member, especially should his country be among those that stand to be disadvantaged. As it stands today, the BRICS bloc seems poised to be much more influential than the G7 bloc that's made up of the United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Canada, Italy, Japan, and the European Union, even though this could take a few decades to become a reality. The G7 members today account for 62% of the global economy, while the BRICS economies account for around 29%, and the average per capita GDP of the G7 economies is almost 6 times larger than that of BRICS. However, BRICS has a direct impact on more people than G7, whereby the G7 is home to about 16% of the world's population, while the current BRICS members account for almost 41%. It's also worth noting that BRICS membership for Kenya, or rather any other African or middle-income economy, does not lack its own share of disadvantages. Some of the disadvantages of joining BRICS for a growing economy like Kenya is stiff competition from much more powerful companies from influential countries like China and Russia, since today's level of protectionism will be abolished in the bloc. As such, budding industries in the growing economies will likely face challenges that will impede their growth, and their residents will remain dependent on bigger and influential multinationals. Do you recommend Kenya to join BRICS? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe before leaving.